Dinah, I've known you for probably, I think, 5 years now, right?
I think it's longer than 5 years.
So
it could be 5 years.
Agents of LA opened up 8 years ago.
And we met, I would say, when you had the other office, and that would be about 6 years, maybe 7 years ago.
Do you believe in everything happens for a reason?
Absolutely.
Why?
I live by it. I think that everything that happens to us, it happens for a reason, because I don't think we have control of certain stuff. I think we choose stuff. We have a choice that we make, but I do believe that we are on the path that we're supposed to be. We're supposed to learn what we're learning. We're supposed to know what we're knowing, but we're also supposed to not know what we don't know. I have 3 kids. I have 3 beautiful kids, and I'm a very, very, very lucky mom. I do multiple different things in my life. I'm trying to build myself, create myself. I'm very spiritual. I do a lot of spiritual work with myself.
How does that work with you being so spiritual, but also being in such a corporate environment of real estate? Is that something that you can kind of cross over? Like, do you mentor people?
Yeah, I mentor people every day, and I do it because I love it. I think that one of the most amazing, powerful thing is to be able to change people's life or offer them a new perspective.
Today I got a phone call, right? Because for the people that don't know who I am, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I have worked with mostly entertainers, athletes, celebrities, you name it, whatever, right? But some of the challenging things that I faced is personalities and personality clashes. So, I have also entered the spiritual realm of not giving a fuck. But what I'm saying that is letting things go, because I feel like there's so many things that are out of our control. And when we have that resistance, right? And we go along with that resistance, it only puts us in a bigger hole. So do you feel like a lot of these agents bottle up all this energy and they make themselves sick?
Well, it depends I guess it depends which side of the business you're looking at. If you're looking from the escrow perspective, from the LCD Capital Escrow that I'm running, which is a tough business, a lot of emotions, a lot of people involved in transaction, I would say yes. Majority of the people take everything very personal, and that's when it affects the performance and it affects everything they do, because at the end of the day, all we do is business. And yes, caring, being frustrated, being emotionally involved, it's important, but you have to know how to disconnect at the same time. You can't manage transaction, business, people if you fully into emotional roller coaster. You have to know how to balance yourself. You have to know how to look from outside on everything we do. And you have to understand what happens and what's going on besides what you're thinking, the movie that you have in your head that's going on in reality in this transaction. And I always say to my people, that shall pass as well, because everything at the end of the day will pass. We will pass.
So even before I met you, I knew a little bit about you, and I don't think a lot of your clientele know that you ran a very successful real estate firm that had contracts with some of the major banks.
Correct.
So,
I was.
Tell me about that.
I used to own a real estate company, and we did have the contracts with the banks, and I used to be a real estate agent, and I sold over 1,000 transactions, and that's a very tough business. Default was very difficult and tough business, and also very emotional, because you're dealing with a lot of people that losing their homes. And the day that default industry was over, which is a market cycle, obviously goes up and down, it was the luckiest and happiest day of my life. I was very happy, and that's when I sold my real estate company and I kept my escrow company, and I decided just concentrate on that side, on the escrow company, and move on and do other things with my life.
Now, that person over there, right? Okay. That person right there.
Hello.
Okay. I want you to talk to that person and tell them what could possibly happen in the market that we're going to be in. And I want them to see from your eyes, right, to that person, because for the person that's going to be watching this, they don't know you that well. But I want you to speak from your heart and tell them what they could be experiencing and what to prep for. Because from what I understand and reading all the reports, it's pretty scary out there. We could be entering a full-blown recession that could be worse than what we experienced in 2007, 2008.
I definitely don't think it's going to be what happened in 2007 or 2008. I think that we're going to face more depression than recession. I think that it has nothing to do just with real estate market this time around. I think that the corporate businesses will be affected as well. I think that not just our country, but the world is going through very, very, very serious cycle of problems. And I do think that every time and every cycle creates an opportunity. I keep saying that to everybody I always talk and coach. And I do say that right now, that even if we are, which I'm thinking we are, going to go through the cycle of depression or recession based on what you said, there is an opportunities. And if we're good on what we do, we can always identify the opportunities and still figure out and find a way to grow ourselves and grow our businesses. But I definitely think we're entering a cycle in real estate where people going to have to work harder, figure out what else to do, figure out how to hustle harder for the business. It's not going to be as easy as it was. But I do believe that it's going to be okay. I do believe that everything happens to us happens for a reason. And as a human being, we're here to survive. And we know how to survive. I do know that God never puts us into something that we can't handle. And I think we just need to be with our eyes wide open and being able to identify what's next, what's coming, how we can create and adjust, adapt, I would say, to new period.
Here's something for you too, which a lot of people have this misconception of people that have funds, right? So more money, more problems, right? And for the people that don't maybe have the same kind of level of income of, say, you or myself.
I wouldn't know that. I'm not rich like you.
And I'm not rich like you, right? But what I'm saying is people have an idea that people of your stature don't have the same problems that they might.
I think people have problems when they have money and they have problems when they don't have money. I think that it's not about money. I think that everything we do is not about money. I know that a lot of people that I coach, and even the gentleman that's sitting up there, and I'm waving to him, they think that if they're going to close that many transactions, they're going to close that many deals a year, their problems will go away. Well, actually, the news that the larger, the bigger you become, the larger and bigger your problems become. It's almost as we have children, right? When my children were little, I had a great time with them. It was such an amazing experience growing those little kids and figure out what to get them for lunch, for dinner, what they're going to wear to school. And then they start growing. And when they start growing, they had their opinion, they have their ways, and now they're at the age when they need to, they need to find themselves, they need to survive, they need to figure out what they want to do. And that becomes a little bit harder for a parent because you have to step back. You have to let them do what they want to do. And that's also one of the things with the business, but at the same time, try kind of to be there and guide it. The bigger you become, the larger operation, the harder it is becoming, operating it. And guess what? We always say that falling from the top building, it's much faster than climbing on the building, right? So the bigger you are, the more money you make, the more you do, the more responsibility and stress you're going to have. And you have to find a way to balance it. You have to find a way to control your emotions, or not even control them, feel them, acknowledge them, and just say, okay, I hear you out. But no matter what, I'm going to survive and I'm going to be here. So as long as I'm healthy.
Yeah.
That's all I think about money and about everything that people, the goal, I want to make $1 million. We interview people all day. Like, I talk to agents all day. How much do you want to make? What's your goal? What do you want to do? Oh, if I make $500,000 this year, I'm done. I'm good. But what do you mean? if you make 500,000, is that what's going to make you happy? It's going to pay for your apartment. It's going to pay for your car. It's going to buy you nicer shoes, maybe another purse. But is that what's going to make you happy? And the question is, what's happening next year? Then you have this fear. Oh my God, I made the 500,000. How do I keep it up and make it more next year? So no matter how high you're climbing, you're always trying to climb higher. And you're not really looking into yourself and say, okay, where is enough and how do I keep the balance here? The fear. How do I control the fear? Because we all the industry right now, the country, the people, you watching the news, is all about fear, is all about fear. Everybody is fearing. There is the weather issue, the global warming, the economy issue, statistically everybody looking at the numbers, the mortgage. I mean, there is so much going on. But at the end of the day, it's like, what am I in all this? Who am I? And why I'm here? That's the question that anybody and everybody need to ask themselves. And yes, I'm all about that, making money. I'm all about growing. I'm all about having goals, set up goals, meet the goals, beat the goals, fight the goals. That's my opinion.
And that's her story.
It was long, right?
That was long.
I'm sorry.
That was long. You're an investor in this company, BLK.
I am. I love this company. I love this water.
What is that anyways? It's fulvic minerals?
Yes, it's fulvic minerals, and it's...
Hold on. So we're about to do this infomercial right now. So, Diana.
Well, I actually not good at that, so maybe you can do better with that.
yeah, at least you're holding the bottle upright, so that's good.
Well, I do believe in this water. We do have an amazing reviews. It helps people with, every problem we have with our health comes from our gut, right? It's all stomach. And we keep our stress in our stomach. We keep everything in our stomach. And this black water, BLK, it's very healthy for you. So I do suggest for you to drink it every day.
So it's 8.0 alkaline water, and it can be bought at Target because I saw it in the aisle.
No,
so,
it can be bought everywhere. We have ourselves in Bristol Farm, Whole Foods.
Oh, sorry. The high-end places it can be bought.
No.
People like me and you, we can buy this shit from Target.
Oh, come on. I go to Target as well. But yes, you can buy it everywhere.
She can take her autopilot Tesla to Target and buy this stuff.
Right. We're trying to be in every gas station so everybody has access to it, so everybody can stay healthy. And that's the new movement. Everybody trying to stay healthy right now. Everybody trying to figure out how to keep healthy lifestyle. And I'm actually proud to be part of this.
It's also made from chakras. Okay, I'll get sued. It's not. Let's do this right now, right? Breathe in.
Yes. We're going to take a deep breath.
Do you practice yoga? Let's close our eyes for a second. Let's close our eyes right now. Breathe in all the way, and then breathe out.
I do practice yoga.
Do you do this in the morning when you wake up?
I'm trying to meditate about 20 to 25 minutes a day. It's kind of difficult with my work schedule, but I'm definitely doing it every day, and it does makes a big difference.
And do you feel like you have clarity?
I do feel like I have clarity. I do meditate on certain things that I have to make decision. I meditate on things that I have questions in my life. I very much believing in the universe. Universe is big guidance for me. I believe in science and everything that has to do with driving me, and everything I make decision. It definitely has to do with my spirituality. It's I'm a strong believer.
I want to go a little bit deeper with you. All right, so we're gonna get a little comfortable here.
It's getting serious.
It's not gonna get so serious, but. Do you ever feel like you just are just so sad and that like you just want to cry for no reason, just to exhaust your tears?
Yeah, I felt like that yesterday.
And why?
I have some projects that I'm dealing with, and it was a little bit overwhelming. I have this talent of taking on things that I never done before. I love challenge. I love to challenge myself, but when I challenge myself, it's challenging me. So I have, I do have days that I'm down and I feel like crying, and I cry. I'm not ashamed of tears. I think tears are beautiful.
And do you feel with the things that you've achieved, are you happy with those results?
I am.
And you would never change anything, or are you
Never
comfortable with it?
change. Never change anything. I love every challenge, every problem, every downfall that I went through, everything I've been through, and never change one thing. The painful, the happy, the miserable. I will keep it all.
Keep it
All in one closet.
And let me ask you this, family to you, you know, you seem so close. Would you say that's the most important thing in this world?
Absolutely.
Over money?
Absolutely. Over everything.
Then why do people have such a problem with thinking that money has such a huge impact versus having a life?
Well, society has this fake identity. You know, everybody want to be something they are not, and everybody thinking if they be that, they'll be happy. Nobody just willing to acknowledge the idea that we have a choice. We have a choice how we feel when we wake up in the morning. Yes, we have problems, but you can choose to be happy.
So,
It's not something that you like have to have somebody giving to you. You have to decide for yourself.
so in your heart, you always feel grateful for the goods, the bads,
I'm
experiences?
very, very thankful for everything, every experience I took, every experience God gave me, every experience universe put me through. I'm like, thank you, appreciate it.
That's amazing.
I wouldn't be who I am.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people take that for granted too, just to even give thanks, right? I think it's so important.
Oh, I do it every day.
So important that we respect the fact that we have the opportunity to still be here in this life.
Oh, I do it every day.
And with the bad things that happen, even the friends that we've lost from cancer, the short periods of times that we've known those people that have impacted your life, it's so important to give gratitude that you've been there and you experienced it.
There is no question. I just went through the experience with cancer, very close to me and my heart and my family, actually part of my family. And yeah,
What is that like though? Like somebody so close to you, knowing that maybe they're not going to be there for a family member.
Well, with all the exception that I do have in my life, I don't think that's possible to accept. I don't think that's something that acceptable. I don't think you can be ready for that. I think that in any case, in any time, in any day, if you have even, and I don't even know how to put it, if an option or possibility to lose someone that you love, how you continue your life without them, I don't know. I mean, this is beyond me. And I know that everything that happens for a reason. And I never trying to reasoning. People always trying to say, why me? Why I? Why that? But I don't do that. I take it all and I say, you know what? If you decide that I have to have that's what it is. But it's painful. And you have to go through that process of pain and fear. How do you live without them? How do you continue without them? Can you see yourself without them? So many questions.
Has anybody that's been really close to you died?
Yeah, I lost my uncle about 4 years ago to cancer, and I just had very close member of my family.
Do you remember what they looked like from before and after cancer effects and
it's
medical
crazy.
treatments?
Yeah.
It's like a totally different person.
It's taken down on them so hard, and some of them never go back to what they were. And my uncle gone, so that's it, But the person that in my family just went through cancer, it's literally going through rehabilitation right now. Chemo was finished 2 months ago, and yeah, it definitely puts a toll on them, and all you can do is to be positive, stay positive, and love them. And yeah, the fear is there. The fear is always there. There is no way. You just have to acknowledge it and move through it. That's all it is.
And give a lot of love. I think a lot of people miss the opportunity to give love. Love is so easy too, and a lot of people don't realize it.
It's all about love.
It's free.
It's all about love. Love is everything. We are love.
People
forget.
Yeah, they forget. And they forget about the acts of kindness to people.
Oh, kindness is something that a lot of people need to go to the store and try to get it. Yeah.
I was watching the news this morning, and I started tearing up. As a grown-ass man, right, 42 years old, I'm tearing up watching the news. Now, what got me there was a young TikToker that all he produces is content of helping and inspiring people. He took an 80-something-plus-year-old man and asked him if he wanted to go to Disneyland.
Oh my God, I saw that too.
So you saw that, right?
Yeah.
And so he changed the way this man, is
And
going
he
to...
asked him, "Are you really want to take me?" I saw that. That's so
And he
interesting.
he followed through with it. It was an act of kindness that was so genuine that got me in tears.
No, absolutely. And this is what rare, especially
Yeah.
where we at, especially in the business we are, especially with deals we're dealing with. People forget that they're dealing with people on the other side. It's all about money and greedy and how much more I can get. And nobody thinks there is another person on the other side of the line that actually pays their bill, have children, maybe have sick parents, maybe have sick child, maybe they need that money that you're squeezing them down for that $500. You know what I mean? It's just... people forget, and that's what's sad, and that's why it's so sad for me to see it, because our children growing right now into the world that the love, the part of kindness that we used to have, that thing that we used to do in a bus, stand up when the older people comes in, you don't see it anymore. It's not there.
It's sad. It's very sad. I mean, I literally, Casey looked over and she said, "Are you crying?" And it was just an emotional thing to see that it's so rare that that man, when he passes on, that will be probably the last thoughts of his happiness, that somebody did something so beautiful and followed through and made him feel a certain way.
No,
right?
that's amazing. And coming from young person, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and he said it got 60 million views. To be honest with you, that sounds like a lot.
And I hope it's not just the views. I hope it's not just something that somebody look at and say, "Oh, how cool," but not doing it himself. I hope that 60 million
it wasn't.
views.
You could just tell that guy was so genuine. I mean,
No, he was, but I'm talking about people that watching it. I'm talking about people that, like you and me, and another, 59.9999 million.
Yeah.
I hope they will take something out of that.
Absolutely.
That's my hope.
The reason why that influencer did what he did is he said he was homeless and no one looked out for him. And so when he got up and he started making money, he wanted to bless somebody else. And that was the most beautiful thing.
And that's amazing. We all need to do it. We all need to do it every day. And not just because we were homeless or not just because we want to do it for this old man or that old man. We have to live by it. This should be our walk and talk. This is how we need to treat everyone walking and talking. You always need to think about everyone else the way you think about yourself. If you want to be treated like that, then don't be surprised if you're treating somebody differently, then you're getting treated differently as well. It all comes from us. What comes around goes around. It's karma.
Why would I not help out somebody if I could? That's what a friend is, right?
But that's what I'm saying. We need more people like you. We need more people like that guy. We need more people. We need more people. If we want to change this world, if we want to have this world, we need to change. Bottom line, there is no questions asked. Because the way we're going right now, everything with the nature, with the economy, with the world, it's all affected. It's all energy.
Absolutely.
And when we become those dry, shallow, don't care people, just take from the nature, take from each other, take from people we love, it becomes this nasty, mean, evil energy. And I think that's what destroying everything. That's what creating this horrible, horrible reality of what we are.
Here's an interesting story that a lot of people don't realize. Here I am, young, 20, 21 years old, right? Made an insane amount of money, right? Had my first Black American Express, right? And I was paying for all my friends. I was like the bank, right? I was the guy that could afford everything. You want to go on trips, you want to have bottle service, you're calling me, right? And I'm having a good time, I think, right? But this is the thing, like, I created a false narrative for myself that I was so popular, I had so much money, had so many girls, had so many nice cars, nice houses, all that stuff, but I had nothing that was genuine. I pushed my family away because I thought I could afford them, right? That's what I felt.
Yeah, but that's what we're calling short star sickness, right? When you feel like
it's insecurity.
This is forever. This is gonna stay. Even in real estate, it's funny. We have a lot of people that are very successful, and that's wonderful. They work hard. They made money. They doing really well. But the question is, do you feel yourself to be better than others because you have more money and you feel like a star, or you just another person that just doing well in your life? Do you feel that way? What do you feel? And if you're feeling that you're a star and you're doing amazing and it's never going to end and you can treat everybody worse than you treat yourself, then you may get surprised because everything ends. We end. We come naked, go naked. At the end of the day, we're all born and die.
I'm going to Versace. I don't know about you. Yeah, you might cremate me,
I'm
but
all about Zara.
I'm joking. But to go back to that story, though, I felt I was invincible. That people's opinions didn't matter because I could afford them. Here I am, young, making millions of dollars, learning how to buy people, literally, and have them do things for me. It's a sickness, right? So,
I don't think it's a sickness. I think it's just delusion.
Which is a sickness.
It's an opinion of the mind.
You can control. For me to try to control anything, right? It's a sickness. It's first off.
Are you sure you're not OCD?
I could be. I could be. But I'm just saying, like, why would I want to control something? Why would I want to control the river?
Can't.
Huh?
It's like controlling life.
What do we do when we control a river? We make a dam, right?
Yeah.
And then we control it.
Yeah.
Life, to be a free spirit, right? In the spiritualities that me and you both are a part of, it's wonderful to just be out there as like light, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being here.
And help people without expecting anything back.
And I say light too. Yeah. And when I say light too, I'm talking about just pure. And it's amazing that you say that too. Like when I buy people, lunches, dinners, whatever, I never expect anything. In my heart, I never genuinely expect that you owe me the next time or the next time. I do it because I want to, just like you. Me and you are so similar when it comes to that stuff, because we genuinely appreciate you, and it's just an act of kindness gesture. We never expect anything in return when we help people.
Yeah, and here's the deal. If we end up in each other's path, there is a reason for that. I do believe in reincarnation. I believe that people meet each other for certain reasons. And I think there was amazing reason that you and I met each other. It was because of real estate company, but here we are, years later, still best friends, still doing things together without profiting from each other, without me expecting something from you, you expecting something from me, and supporting each other growth one way or another, whatever I want to do, whatever you want to do, caring.
Absolutely, yeah. And Dinah, let me tell you about you. If I have an event, you're always the first person to come out of your pocket and say, hey, let me help you. Because we've had such an amazing friendship, I never want to ask you because you're my friend, and I truly value friendship over anything. And that is the real money, is having genuine people, because there's not enough of it. There's enough money in this world. There's not enough genuine people.
Yeah, money you can always make. Find real people. You know how we say, right? If you have 5 real friends, you can count them on your fingers. You lucky man. And I've been very lucky. I have few good, amazing people next to me. And I think they're only there because I'm being extremely sincere about everything I do.
It's kind of funny. Well, I say funny. I don't even know if it's funny. But my doctor who did my abdominal surgery, he saw a post, on my Instagram, and he called me on it. And, that's not really, doctors really don't do that. They call you about surgery. But I think he maybe thought that I was going through depression or something, because I put a post and it said, I don't feel like anybody really truly knows me. And when I say that, it's not about depression. It's just that I'm such a private person. You never hear me speak about my significant other, my kids, or anything else like that. I'm just very private. My private life is my private life. It's not that I feel like I need to post them. I care about everybody very deeply. But I think it's up to them if they want to put themselves out there, and it's, some people don't. My son hates being on media, hates it, and my daughter, she hates it too, but I think he thought that, I was going through something, But he actually told me that he feels the same exact way. And he asked me a question: how many true friends do you really have, like guy friends that you grew up with that you're still friends with? And, made me think about it. I really don't have any. Like, there's not one guy friend that I actually talk to on a daily saying, hey, how are you doing? Maybe Gib, but I talk to him maybe every couple weeks, but I don't have any friends. And it's sad to say that because I'm such a enclosed person. Like,
well, you have me.
Yeah, and we're true friends, but I'm talking about guy friends, right? Because guys were conditioned growing up to talk about girls and other things, but we're not talking about like spirituality, what we're going through as men, and maybe going through a relationship or a divorce or separation or losing our kids or what that was like. We don't talk about any of that stuff.
It's actually so true. You know what? I've been working with a lot of guys lately as far as coaching, and it's interesting that you don't. And even with my son, I see it. When I ask him, questions, he's like, well, my business, I'm dealing with that, the answers. And I'm like, well, why don't you talk about it? Let's deal with that together.
Because you're the mom. You're the mom. Like, it's different from a father. Like, dads, we're supposed to be, and men, we're supposed to be so hard and always never show the soft side. Maybe birthday party and yes, son, you did great, but we're supposed to be invincible. We're always supposed to be Superman, but never show the kryptonite.
I know.
And it's tough growing up, and always having to be that man that with those top expectations that we could never fail. And for men that do fail out there, and I've failed before, I've been broke and not had anything. I mean, yes, my family has had money and stuff, but me being a real man, I've never asked. I've always wanted to feel what it was like to pick myself back up and, learn these lessons by myself. And it's not been an easy route. No one's taught me something. Life has taught me something, which I know.
But what's beautiful about it, that you're actually talking about that right now on camera. Oh. And how many guys that willing to do that? And if they do, that they consider them life coaches because they're open and they're willing to talk about themselves. Reality is very simple. You're right. Men are supposed to be the strong, shut down person that never shares anything. Even the simple conversation with Jacob that I had about a week and a half ago, I knew nothing about him until I simply asked him a question. So how are you doing? And we see each other all the time.
You never know what a hello will do.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You never know what people going through until you ask them that question. And with guys, it's the hardest thing to do because you guys program from DNA to from generation to generation that opening up, being emotional, being able to feel in public, it's wrong.
I know and especially, I'm a first gen in this country. Right, and just like your son, right? Lior's a first gen.
Yeah.
Right. So it's tough because growing up in a first gen, coming from a mother that's white Italian, and from a father that's Asian descent, it's different. Asian people don't speak about their emotions. They always have to be so hard on their kids, and if you done well, you're never going to know if you've done well because they're never going to give you a pat on the back and say, "Son, you did great."
I just came back from Japan. Oh my God. They're suppressing so much in them, and I connected to a lot of people. I was fortunate enough to be with amazing people in Japan and meet amazing entrepreneurs and people but the way they suppress their emotions, they nicest people in the world. They're so welcoming, but they just keep everything inside and nobody can know anything. It's completely different mentality, what you're talking about. Even with us. Even here, that you're talking about men not speaking up and saying what they feel, there, it's 10,000 times worse.
And it's so interesting because white people are more frivolous with money, right? They just spend it. They believe in, it just never, the never-ending money stream. But Asian people, they think it's really disrespectful if you talk about any kind of money. If you even have those conversations, it's like taboo, right? And they don't believe in spending stuff on frivolous stuff, unless you're crazy rich Asians, which I know a few of those too, and they still don't talk about it. They are that.
They're just spending it.
But coming from a conservative Asian family, we never spoke about money. I still don't know what my dad owns. I know he owns a couple cars, whatever. You know, he'll keep them for 20 years at a time, right? He's the cheapest son of a bitch ever. Love you, Dad. And then my mom, you know, she'll have yachts, Rolls Royces, and lifestyles, and you know, rich and famous. You know, and kind of funny story is, you know, I used to grow up in a Texan kind of household, right? Because my family was Texan, Italian, Vitaliano was the maiden name, and they were very well off, right? I would go to school in a limo. I don't even know if you knew that.
No.
I posted a picture on
Well,
Twitter.
I kind of knew that because you mentioned it a few times, and I do pay attention when you talk. So I had an idea, but I never heard you speaking about it. I know about your mom and I know about your dad, but this is more deep. I like it.
So, you know, I would go to school in a limo, and I would be super embarrassed. In the 80s, we've had numerous Rolls Royces, right? And I actually posted a picture just recently of me carrying a briefcase next to a Rolls Royce that I'd go to school in. And even in junior high, getting dropped off, it was kind of weird, right? But my dad's side, my great-grandfather was the Prime Minister of Thailand, which I came from, I guess, a royal family, which my last name is Sevetsila, which means white elephant. My family brought over most of the communications, and we probably owned a majority of the mango farms in Thailand. So growing up, my father never talked about money. He was very frugal. Didn't believe in spending anything, you know, above his means or anybody else's means, and you should never try to flaunt on anybody. He believes in like the Warren Buffett mentality completely, the Mark Zuckerberg mentality completely. You know, he doesn't live in a huge house, maybe 3,300 square feet. Doesn't believe in going and spending money on cars. Actually, every car I've ever purchased, he thought I was a complete idiot. I've purchased over 34 cars, and every one of them he was been disappointed. Probably not so much the Tesla, though.
Well, you did that. But guess what, guys? We started this podcast with Ty as my good friends, and now I know I have royalty in the room.
You don't have shit. I'm a royal pain in your ass. That's what I am.
Hello. Now I can say, hey, I have my best friend is a royalty.
No, but you can say I'm dual citizen. I do have a lot of land in Thailand, which I don't know what the hell that even means. My stepmom just finally came out to me a year and a half ago and said, Ty, that you need to go to Thailand. You need to claim stuff because your dad's getting older. In those countries, you don't speak. If you're a stepmom and you're married into the bloodline, you don't speak on a man's net worth or any of that stuff. It's not for you to say. But she knows that I'm very Americanized, and she wanted to make sure that I knew the monies that were owed to my family, which is me and my brother, probably just me. But that's a long story.
I never met your brother.
Yeah, and I barely met him too. No, I know him. He's just a
Ty has a brother, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty has a brother.
He's a complete jackass.
I mean, come on. I never knew that either. What is it? 15 minutes of talk and here we are. I know so much more about you. I should get you on camera all the time. Should.
No, he definitely is the different version of me. Like I'm the very humble, very nice. He's very cocky, stuck up. You know, he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the Brad Pitt. I don't believe in any of that stuff. You know, if I have $1 in my pocket or if I have 10 billion, my personality will never change. Actually, the more money I have, the more money I'm going to give.
And I can actually say that's true because that's why I'm here and that's why I'm doing this with you because I definitely know after so many years of friendship that that's who you are.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely feel good about people. And, you know, I put something recently out on Twitter said that I'm genuinely happy for people. Like, why would I not be?
Well, that's a good question, but a lot of people are not. A lot of people don't have the same type of personality, Ty. A lot of people not willing to give you this compliment, this. I even had people that I helped so much in my life, and they had a hard time saying thank you.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's fine because I don't care. In reality, I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me.
You know, I
love doing that.
A thank you is the most important thing. It's especially when it comes from the heart.
So. And it doesn't matter for what, for anything, for everything we do.
Appreciation. Actually, the feeling of appreciation means more than anything. You can't buy me anything, Diana. But you know what? Like, if it comes from the heart and you meant it, like when I went to buy you a birthday gift, I specifically went to a gem store looking for these crystals.
And I love my gift.
She probably already lost it, guys.
No, I didn't.
But
no,
specifically,
why would you say that?
specifically went shopping, which I never do for anybody, right? Like that. But specifically because you meant so much to me. And what they said back in the day, which is, I believe it's called the Lemurians, they used to have these crystals and they used to store all these energy in the crystals, and that's how they would communicate. And I felt the need to make sure I put the right positive energy into those crystals.
And they're amazing. And I do have them all. And I put some of them on my nightstand as well, because I have a huge collection of crystals. I'm big. I meditate with crystals, and I meditate with different crystal at any time. Depends on my mood and what crystal does.
I'm wearing one right now. You know, I met Spencer Pratt recently. He was on the Hills, and he was talking about his wife, Heidi. And after all the plastic surgery jobs that she went through, she was in so much pain, and he did not know how, as a husband, to help her. And a friend told him that maybe look into these crystals. So he did, and he bought a couple and gave it to his wife, and she actually said it helped. And he went from being a full-blown douchebag to being the most spiritual human out there. I mean, I'm talking about such a good person, and really devoting his life to changing other people's lives. And those are the kind of stories and people that I want to be a part of.
And hopefully we're going to be building more and more of those people, and hopefully that's something that will help them. And we're hoping to just touch 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and that's what it is.
Janae Aiko, you know, she has her sound bowls, and I've represented her on a few house sales. And she has her crystal sound bowls that she uses those as a healing method to put out a certain vibration that people can resonate to. And she's been so successful at it because she does that with passion, and she truly has that right intention.
And it works.
I have never been through a sound bowl.
I do it at least twice a month.
Really? Yeah, I've never had the opportunity, but it sounds like it's working.
It's balancing you. It gives you
frequencies.
Clarity, it opens everything. It's amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do.
But, you know, I had the opportunity to see what they look like. You know, she asked me, said, hey, make sure people don't walk in this room, you know, or be there. And then some of those sound bowls are very expensive, but, you know, who would have ever thought that the frequencies could be used for health? It makes sense, though.
We are frequency. We are energy. We're 90% energy.
I'm not educated. I want to be more. But
actually, we're 100% energy and 90% water.
I think water, you know, I had the thought about water. Water's so important, right? We're born in water. We need water to survive.
Yes, we are. But that's what, you know, when I was going through my coaching and through the process of going through the process with myself, and I did a lot of different crazy things to, you know, to understand the spiritual part of the world and to connect to me. I wanted to find out who I am. So one of the things that I was practicing is literally walk like water, walk like fire, feel what earth feels like, be air. You know, it's like practicing with your personality, what you are, trying to connect to it. And you ask yourself a question, what do you mean walk like water? What are you trying to say? Yeah. How can I walk like water? I can't be a water. But then all of a sudden you're like, wait, water can be rough, water can be quiet, water can be fast, water can be slow, water can be still, right? So water has everything. I always say life is like a river, right? It has its own ups and downs, rocks, floods, sun, rain, everything. So, yeah, I mean...
Go with the flow. Is that where it comes from?
Yep, go with the flow.
We both crack up about this.
Here we go. I think we're good here, right?
No, I think we're good. I mean... are we planning on doing another episode? Are you going to have more guests on your show? Like, yes. Tell me about this. Tell about this, the audience about this.
So I would like to create something that reflects, and I know I'm coming from real estate background, and that's why I'm trying to bring it together with type of transformation spirituality, because I think everything relates, everything is connected.
Everything's energy.
Everything is energy. And I do want to create something what we did today, and yes, I'm going to have more guests, and I'm going to have different type of people. The idea is to bring different people from different industry, from different aspects, from people that don't even want to talk about business. It's not about money. It's not about business. Just to understand that went through something in life and felt something that they can share with others and maybe help others. Maybe somebody going right now through cancer recovery moment and they need advice. And they're going to hear it and say, oh my God, I'm going to try to be that, to do that. If that's going to help me to survive, that's what I want to be. So I do want to do more of those podcasts. And I want to combine all type of people, all kind of different energy and different messages, different ideas.
I would love to do a follow-up when you do these podcasts, and especially they don't have to be celebrity or somebody of high net worth, but maybe somebody that went through a struggle, and just surprise them and do something, just an act of kindness with no repay, no nothing, just do something. Maybe somebody was struggling. I think it
would be amazing. Yeah.
Maybe somebody that missed their car payment or their house payment.
And it would be cool to do it together.
I would love to sponsor that, whether, I do the whole thing myself or whatever.
Just do it together. We'll do it together, and I love that.
Yeah.
I trying to be good every day.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
good.
It's not once a year thing for me, but yeah.
I think we should make it a point that...
I think it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think it's what we are.
Make it a point just to help people and teach people an example, what it feels like to be an amazing human and what it feels like to be a giver.
At least share something. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So what we basically learned today is frequency and putting out quality energy out there and sharing this quality energy. And we're going to show how the ecosystem works. So hopefully we'll set an example and help other people with Diana's help. So I'm actually very happy that I got to sit here and be your first guest.
Second.
Who was the first?
I had another one. I wasn't cheating on you.
Oh, she was definitely cheating. It's a wrap.